Mr. Mulholland here. Today I'm going to be showing you how I render glass with pencil. All you need are a black and a grey pencil, and if you have a white pencil it can come in quite useful. The first thing I like to do is show all internal faces of the cube. Because glass is see-through, you will see all these faces. Once I have drawn them in ordinary pencil, I go over them in the black colouring pencil to darken them up. Next, what I am doing is drawing where the shadow will be in the shape. So I need to decide which face is going to be in the light, and I simply just draw extensions of the lines of my cube or my shape to show where the shadow will be. I make sure I show the shadow that's behind the cube as well, as you will also see this. Once I have done this, I draw a boundary box on each face of the shape. This is going to show where light will be reflecting on the corners of the glass. I darken the lines using the black pencil and curve the corners. I'll repeat this process for the next two faces. Now I'm just darkening the internal lines of the box to clearly define the faces. Next, with a grey pencil, I start a hatching technique on all the faces of the cube, making sure to leave gaps where light will be reflected. Slowly I build up layers to show lighter and darker areas on each pane of glass. Before I hatch the top face, I lightly colour in the two faces that will be in shadow in the grey pencil. When I'm hatching on the top of the box, it's important to lean heavier so that you can see the hatching through the shadowed faces. I then begin to darken the hatch marks on the other two faces where you can see the shadow. I can use a black pencil and blend it with the grey pencil to make certain areas even darker. I'm using the grey pencil very lightly to try and blend some of the tones together. Now I am shading in shadow, even in areas that are behind the box. It's important to build up your layers slowly and lightly. I just use a white pencil partly to blend together the tones and also to add more streaks of light in between areas of darkness. Now, using a black pen, I am just highlighting the edges of my rendering This will make the white patches seem even brighter than they actually are, as well as this, it'll give a bit more definition to my drawing. Finally, I just use a rubber to add extra streaks of light into the lighter patches of my shape. Now I'm going to show you how to do this for coloured glass. This technique is very similar, apart from instead of using grey and black, you use lighter and darker shades of the same colours. Firstly, I begin by drawing all the faces of the box, even those on the other side, and then I extend my lines to draw a shadow. Next, using the darker shade, I will draw in the boundaries on each face of the box, similarly to before. Then I begin hatching using the lighter shade pencil. I slowly begin to build up layers of colour and ensure that the faces behind the cube are darker than the faces in the front of the cube. Ensure where my lines overlap onto the darker face are darker than the lines that do not overlap onto the darker face. The darker shaded pencil can help achieve this. Once I have that done, I begin to trace out my shadow and then add more definition using my darker tones. I also use a rubber in between to try and make the light streaks clearer. Just like before, I used the black pen to show the boundaries of my shading as well as to highlight areas of light. I repeat the process on the other cube using blue tones instead of green tones. You should always begin using the lighter colour and then darken it down using more layers. You should only move to the darker pencil when you're ready to define areas of light and dark. And that's it. You should play about with different colours to try and get different effects in your class. Thank you.